In this video, I'll be helping you with the ALEKS problem type called factoring a quadratic with a negative leading coefficient. And in this example, I can see that I do have a negative leading coefficient, but also where the title says factoring a quadratic, I only have 3 terms here. So I have a trinomial. However, the method that we will use will turn this trinomial into a quadratic. The first thing that I will deal with is the negative leading coefficient. I can factor out a negative from each of those terms, leaving me with a positive u squared, a positive 6u, and a negative 16. And now that I've factored out this negative, I can turn my attention to the quadratic inside the parentheses and just keep that negative on the outside for the rest of these steps. And to turn this trinomial into a quadratic, I'll be using the AC method, where we multiply the A and C, A being a positive 1, C being a negative 16. When we multiply our positive 1 and negative 16, the resulting negative 16, I can list out the factors as either 1 and 16, 2 and 8, or 4 and 4. But I know that to get a negative 16, these signs will have to be different. And I also know that they will need to add up to that middle term because I'm going to replace that middle term with these. And since the signs are different and they need to add to a positive 6, I can use the positive 8 and negative 2. Those signs are different. Negative 2 times positive 8 gives me this negative 16, but it also allows me to replace that middle term. Keeping everything else the same, I can replace that 6u with a minus 2u and a positive 8u. So we have now turned this into a quadratic with 4 terms, and leaving that negative outside, if I group these first 2 together, they have a common u that I can factor out, leaving me with u in the first term and a minus 2 in the second. And then grouping the second 2 terms together, I can factor out a positive 8, leaving me with u in the first term and a minus 2 in the second term. From here, continuing to leave that negative on the outside, I can see that the expression on the inside, both the first term has a u minus 2 and the second term has a u minus 2. So we can factor out a u minus 2, leaving me in the first term with just the u, and leaving me in the second term with just the plus 8. And now removing any unnecessary parentheses, I know that I have a negative on the outside. I've got a u minus 2 term and a u plus 8 term. This is our factored expression, and we use the AC method to convert this trinomial into a quadratic that we could factor by grouping.